Okay, so the first one, what are you doing and what's going on around you, like your environment, is your physical card. And that is the Page of Swords. Okay, see why you want to be looking at them? Aren't they awesome? So the great thing about these cards, real quick, is that it has words on them. So some of them might stick out to me and I'll read on them, but maybe for some of you, something else sticks out. So it's like you get more out of these general readings, and I really like that. Okay, so that's your physical card. That's what's going on around you. Now let's get your mental and emotional card. Okay. Okay. We have the Empress. And your spiritual or experience. This is kind of like the lessons you learn and what's really going on with your higher self and who you're building yourself to be. Okay, and we have the King of Swords in reverse. Okay, but I'm going to turn this around so you can read it. But let's remember, let's put this on it so we can remember that that's in reverse. Okay, and let's, can you still read it? Okay, and let's not forget that. So now we also, I'm going to use my archetype cards, which is a really big deck that I have, and it's all of your personality traits and all of your characteristics, and it's going to be like what's coming up for you this month. You know, like all the little facets of us that, you know, sometimes some are in play, sometimes they're positive, sometimes they come up negatively, and we can see how we can work with them. So this is like an overlay for the month. It's like, you know, the scent, the fragrance in the air, the scent, you know, it's going to affect your physical, what you're doing, what you're thinking and feeling, and your experience. All right, Libra. Hi to all my Libras out there, by the way. Okay, this one came out. We got Angel. So the little part of you that's like an angel. Some of you are like, yeah. And some of you are like, aw. Okay. So if this is affecting you positively, it's going to, it says, helping those in need with no expectation of return. Okay, and if it's affecting you negatively this month, it says acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. You guys all know what I mean when it says this. The bottom one where it says falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance, this is like somebody who is like pretending to be psychic or something, you know, someone who really is in and who is looking for a quick way to make a buck, you know, so don't be that person. And I'm not getting big hits on this, okay, but if it's like, you know, one of those things where you're trying to be cool, just don't. You'd be cooler for not doing that, you know. And then acting innocent or angelic to mislead others. That's one I was saying everybody knows. It's like putting on that little face where it's like, oh, I'm sweet and innocent. And then, you know, catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar type of thing. So it's warning against that this month because it's like, you know, you're basically going to be seen very clearly this month. So try to keep it light. And by doing that, it says help those in need with no expectation of return. Okay. And that's very much your nature anyways. You guys are always thinking of other people, always picking up little things for other people, always writing kind notes, always thinking and doing whatever you can for others. Like if you learn a new craft, it's like, oh, I want to make it for this person and this person. You know, you're never putting yourself first. You love doing that. And that's the angel part of you. That's the without a thought. You're doing good deeds. And that is what I hope is the influence for you this month. If it's, you know, you're trying to act innocent or you're trying to fool somebody, you know, stay away from those things. But really, let's stick to the positive attributes of this. And now remember, helping those in need with no expectation of return is like a generosity thing, but you know, it's also a heart thing. So it's going to affect, especially here, your emotions, okay, and your thoughts. But it's going to affect all of them. So let's start off with the Page of Swords and what's going on this month for you, your physical card. Okay, so we have conversation is and mental. I feel like for some of you, you're gonna be, you might be involved. See where it says gossip? I feel like that, but I feel like more like two-timing, two-facing. So you could be, somebody could two-face you, but this is saying like if you're thinking about maybe two-facing somebody else, I know it sounds funny, but if you're thinking about that, it's like super don't do it now. Not a good month, because again, remember, you're going to be seen very clearly, okay? And we don't want to fool anybody, remember? So let's make sure that this isn't the month we do it, and try to keep your story straight. Okay, so like if you got something where like people are paying very close attention to what you're saying and watching very closely to what you're doing and quoting your conversations or maybe recording your conversations, or you know what I mean? It's, you know, it says media here too. I didn't see that before. If this is going on, it's like choose your words wisely. Okay, so your physical card is all about mental. It's also your mental card, and it's where you're going this month. It's what is going on. There's a big story around you this month, or maybe you've had a lot go on. Since it's December and it's the holidays and stuff, maybe you've had a lot going on since last year when you saw a lot of people. Like maybe you have a big family or friend party, or both, and you know your life has changed, and so now you have to explain your whole life, or why you moved, or why you know, or what you're doing, or you know what I mean, with everybody all over again. And it's kind of like keep your story straight. Maybe everyone's anticipating it because since you got a new tattoo or whatever it is that changed your life. Not that a tattoo would, but you know, I suppose one would. But this is something where it's like, you know, people are really paying attention to what you're saying. Maybe they're gossiping about it. Maybe they're anticipating what you're going to say. Maybe it's like media. Maybe like your life is headline news, or maybe you got into it with somebody, or maybe you have something. It just has that feeling behind it, like, ugh. Like as much as you might be excited for the holidays, you might be dreading it just a little bit as well. There's some kind of, maybe not hesitation, but maybe a little bit of nervousness around it. Okay. And, so that's what you're doing. You're mentally anticipating, coming up with your stories, and that's for some of you. This card could be as simple as, what are you doing? You're in a lot of conversations with people. You're being very social. You're, you know, maybe what you're doing is, you feel like you're in the middle with people, and there's like a conversation going on, but you're like the middleman, and it's kind of like you want to get out of that. That's just for some of you, but okay, I think I want to sit on that for a while. Let's go on to the Empress for your thoughts and your emotions. Okay, what you're thinking and how you're feeling, and it's I love this card. The Empress is so awesome. It has such a good feeling to it because it's like ripeness. Okay, I know that's not on here, but not that word, but that's what it feels like to me. Ripeness. Okay, feeling like you are feeling like you're at the prime of everything. Feeling accepted by others, this is like a feel-good card, okay, for in your feelings section. So mentally, some of you could be thinking about having a baby, fertility, mother, and harvest too, you know. This could be, you're just excited about the holidays and you're thinking about that constantly and what you're going to have to explain to the friends or family. Or maybe you're making up a story. Some of you are making up a story on why you don't have to go. But this is a very good card to have in your mental and emotional section. This is very balanced, very good, very happy, very open, like come what may. I'm going to make, chicken salad out of chicken's shit. It's just like a really, really good card. This is not budging on who you are, but at the same time being totally like malleable in regards to accepting others as they are as well, and being open to their ideas and thoughts. So this is a very open and free thought and emotion card. So that's what it's going to feel like for you this month. Whatever this is, either you're in the middle of something or people are wanting to talk to you, wanting to get your story. And then we had this reversed, okay? Remember? So this card is the King of Swords, okay? And the King of Swords is your spiritual card, your experience. So the word rational, pragmatist, sharp. And I see sharp thinker, so this is like, you're going to be on the top of your game as far as conversation goes, remember, this month, because you are going to be a sharp thinker. You might be like problem solving, because I know that Libras are peacemakers. So for some of you, you could be the peacekeeper of what's going on. Or, you are going to be the one that breaks ice. Everyone's dreading this holiday for some reason. I don't know why I get dreading. They want the story, or they're gossiping, or, something's happening with this holiday. And you're kind of like the one that cuts the thickness in the air and kind of like breaks the ice and, brings it back to reality, But this also is the card of putting someone in their place when it needs to be, you might have to put someone in their place, but as far as being in your spiritual section, your experience, it's going to be, you're going to come to a point this month where everything's going to kind of be in perspective, and it's going to be kind of like closure to some things that might have been left open last year, or some things that you've worked on since then, or some things, you're feeling good now. And maybe you're feeling good now, but you weren't feeling good last year. And that's where you're going to be, basically thanking like your lucky stars, and seeing the bigger picture here, thinking about it and understanding that what you've been through is going to allow more and more of this once you unweave it and unravel it and allow it to unfold as it may. Because sometimes we can't control everything, but we can control how we treat others, okay? So don't be too sharp with people. This is a warning to some of you too, I forgot. Some of you Libras, very rarely, but sometimes, you guys can get pretty sharp if you need to. And that's, not a bad thing. But don't be too sharp, okay? Maybe somebody can hit on a sore subject, but don't snap at them. But, think before you speak, okay? But the rest of it is like pretty open. So it's like this new you. Okay, I feel like this is like you're a totally different person than you were this time last year, okay? So it's like new things are coming and you're feeling really good for it. So now you're able to make some better decisions, and you're kind of like able to cut through the BS quicker, okay? So that's your reading. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful month of December.